kind of all of the coroners in the metro area kind of had this gut feeling that the suicide rate was going up, especially in the beginning of 2009. And if you look, 2008, we actually had a pretty good year. I mean, it's still 92 many, but it's a lot better than what we have been doing before. 2007 was incredibly high. 2009 was even higher. So a lot of the statistics that Jared brought out are actually the same thing that we're seeing in this county. What I did, though, is when they asked me specifically to look at how the economy affected it, well, what if people weren't concerned about the economy when they killed themselves? So I looked through every suicide going back to 2004, and I'm now looking at 2008, and broke it into what was the primary cause. And in order to classify it as related to the economy, they had to be upset about, now if you lose your job and you don't care because you need a vacation, that doesn't count as being upset over unemployment, bankruptcy, eviction or foreclosure, high debt, financial setbacks. These two I didn't see a whole lot of, but I did see a lot of the rest of them. So these are some of the things that are going on in these people's minds as they're contemplating their future. And if you go to the next one, this is a number that we saw that was actually related to the economy. And as you can see, 2005 went down, and when we compare the numbers, you'll see 2005 was not a low number for suicides, but it was a low number for economic suicides. We're basically at about 22, 23 suicides a year based on economic factors, except for 2009. Every other year, the #1 reason for suicide was a relationship issue until we got to 2009. Does anybody remember what was happening in the beginning of 2009? We had the highest number of layoffs going on, and we had the most difficult time finding jobs. The economy actually started bottoming out well before that, but now everything was catching up. And actually, we did start to see the suicide rate go up at the end of 2008. But this is what actually happened during 2009. Go ahead. As you can see, 2005 must have been a good year for the economy because it was a really low comparative number. I think it was like the 3rd or 4th on the list. But it rises quite dramatically here. And if you go to the next slide, it'll actually show you the percentage. And again, we're talking 22, 23% because we're just about at 100 suicides a year until we get to 2009. And it's over 30% of the suicides were related to economic issues. When you think about it, if you're out of a job, you're about to be evicted, you're having trouble paying your rent, you're having trouble buying food, and it's going to cost you $100 to go see a therapist, are you going to do it? I really believe we do need more support in mental health and available economically to people. Has anybody heard of the Second Wind Foundation? I will tell you from looking at my statistics, and they started in Jefferson County, and I'm very active with them, but since they began, they have dropped our youth and suicide rate by about 50%. They provide, for people who are uninsured or underinsured, they provide treatment and counseling. They worked. And I do believe that if we get something together for everybody, that we can get them the care that they need, that we can drop this rate. And I am a true believer that suicide is preventable. And I want us to all get together and start doing that. Thank you.